Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. This is my Autumn 2025 decorating marathon featuring my favorite fall looks of the season. Grab your pumpkin spice latte, your favorite cup of tea, or glass of wine, and let's get into it. One thing that I felt was missing here in this kitchen, especially in this corner, was lighting. So I grabbed this Tiffany style lamp from Amazon. I actually found these books at Tractor Supply, which was surprising, and the picture there came from Walmart. I will link the items that I can find down in the description box below for you. And then, of course, pumpkins from Hobby Lobby. I also got this little acorn from Hobby Lobby. It came in a pack of 2. And then, as per usual, I like to pop in a leaf or 2. The cake stand that I'm using is something I've had for years. Again, you don't have to break the bank to refresh your space and change things up. The pumpkins are from Hobby Lobby, and then the minute glass was a gift from my mom. Moving on to my little coffee station area. Just popping in a few neutral mugs. I would have shown you the part where I arranged the flowers here, but as it turns out, I came down with a case of arrangement rage. Since my riser is white, I'm using this little natural wood colored pumpkin to create a contrasting surface for this little cream and sugar dish set that I got. The final touch on this stand will be these little wooden spoons from Hobby Lobby. They add a little bit more color, a little flash of gold. I like to put a little bit of light in every corner that I can, so I'm using these fairy lights in this glass pumpkin. If you're wondering how long they are, I believe the length is 8.7 kilometers. Moving on to the kitchen island, I like to take this little owl and fill him with pumpkins. I'm not sure where he came from. I've had him for several years. I wanted him to have just a touch more height, so I stuck that wooden round beneath him to give him that. And now I'm going to put a few food items here in this bowl. None are actually edible, mind you. Starting off with this pumpkin and then these corn picks. I've had these picks and the glass grapes that I'm about to put in for several years. They're some of my favorite pieces. I think they're so pretty. I use them every year. Just adding in a few finishing touches here, a couple of pumpkins, the milk vase, and now we'll move on to the windowsill. I really like these faux florals from Hobby Lobby this year. This one I think looks so realistic, and it ties in with the hydrangeas that I put in the dining room. I found a garland that I wanted to put above the windowsill this year, and I've already wrapped it in fairy lights to give it just an extra little glow, a little magic. In this last corner, I'm using the white vase for some contrast with the dark surfaces, and then the wooden utensils for a kind of cohesive look. The little acorn cookie jar there is actually from the Target dollar spot. It was $5, y'all. You should run out and pick that up. Final touch is a couple of fall kitchen towels for the space, and here is a look at the finished project. On this side of the couch, I'm using this sage green throw along with these fall pillows that I got from Marshall's, which I absolutely love. I keep this galvanized metal tray here on the coffee table year round and just switch out for the seasons. I usually keep that white lantern there with fairy lights inside, and then those are some ceramic pumpkins I've had for a while. These candles I actually got from Amazon. They look so lifelike at night. My husband actually thought that they were real candles. I highly recommend if you're looking for a more budget-friendly alternative to the Luminara candle. I really like to decorate with books all over, and the Wordsworth Classics from Amazon are perfect for that. They have such pretty covers, such pretty spines. I'll link those in the description box below. This glazed ceramic vase is from Target. It's a hearth and hand piece along with these dried stems that I'll use here in a moment. And that's just some paper that I like to put in the bottom of the vase to help me have a little bit more control over the arrangement. And then I'm also going to add in some dried lavender stems from my mom's lavender farm. As usual, when working with lavender, I've made a mess, so I'm just cleaning that up really quickly before I move on. These pumpkins are from Hobby Lobby. The selection this year has been really impressive. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend. The mirror that you see there that I was decorating with was actually this light purple color, and I got some antique brass paint and just painted the frame of it to better go with the look I was trying to achieve. I was really happy with how it turned out. One thing I really like to do is place points of light throughout in different spaces in my home, especially when we're getting into the months where it's getting darker sooner. So I use lots of candles and lots of fairy lights. This basket is pretty much a staple here in this little corner. I am reusing a Christmas pillow as I like to do, and then that's actually a spring pillow. I just turn them around and then pop in a pumpkin. This jack-o'-lantern I've had for years. I picked it up at a fall festival in my area quite a while back. Unfortunately, when COVID happened, they stopped having the festival, which was such a shame because the pieces were so unique. These little pumpkin candles are actually from Target, and they smell wonderful. These wooden pumpkins I've had for some time now. I'm not even sure where they came from. Maybe Hobby Lobby? A little touch of whimsy here with the Harry Potter book. This is The Prisoner of Azkaban, which is my personal favorite. Let me know in the comments what yours is.
Lit the sunset in your eyes. I couldn't find the strength to say what was running through my mind. Oh, you look beautiful, so beautiful.
So here are just some of the pieces that I plan to use today. Some of them I've had for years, a couple of them are new, and some of them are antiques and family heirlooms. To make this space more cohesive, I'm using this wooden pumpkin in the hall tree shelves. Our farmhouse table is distressed white with a barnwood top, so this pumpkin complements that and adds warmth. Before I get started with the decorations on the tabletop, I just want to give it a quick clean and make sure it's a nice, pretty, shiny base to work off of. Starting out with these gold leaf placemats, and then I like to place a charger. I mix things that I've had for a while and like to pick up a few new pieces each year, like this plate. It's from Walmart, the Pioneer Woman. I really like the detailing around the edge of that. I thought it was really pretty. And this is a Lenox Pearl bowl from a set that I've had for quite a while now. I use them pretty much all year round. And then I also picked up the mug from the Pioneer Woman. I just really liked that detailing a lot and thought it was fall without being overwhelming. And then the stemmed glass is actually an antique that my grandmother gave me, and I use those quite a bit throughout the year as well. The pumpkin is new and from Hobby Lobby. I really like this a lot to stick fairy lights in and just get that really pretty ambient glow at night. Several of these florals I had from last year. I did pick up a couple of new things. I found some really pretty fall roses and also some hydrangeas. I actually have several hydrangeas at my home and I have used them before, but whenever I do, they seem to carry along with them quite a few gnats. So I have opted for the faux florals instead. Now I'm bringing in a few larger pieces to kind of fill out the arrangement. I have a few pumpkins and an acorn, and then I'll be bringing in some pillars with some candles for the ends to kind of round it all out. I really loved these little pumpkin candles that I have atop the pillars. I went back to Target this year to try and find them again, and I could not, which is so unfortunate. They smelled amazing and they lasted a really long time. The last thing I'll do in the dining room today is style the top of this cabinet. This little pumpkin lamp I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and I just saw where they still have it this year. I really love it at night. If you have a Hobby Lobby and you need a little space with some ambient light, this is perfect. And then the vase there, I wanted to add a little pop of color, so I placed those hydrangeas there in the vase to round out that corner. And here is a look at everything put together, and if you stay tuned a bit longer, I'll show you how it looks once the sun sets. One of my favorite parts of this time of year is getting to see these decorations once the sun goes down. I just think it's so cozy and so inviting. This corner needed some light, so we added in the lamp, and then the little porcupine, and then that golden leaf for a nice flash of color here. This purple throw is from Pier 1 Imports, and it's a piece that she's had for quite a while, but I just loved that deep purple color. Those jewel tones are really what I wanted to bring out in this space. I felt the throw needed a little something extra, so I grabbed this book and laid it open there, and then I topped it off with a little woven pumpkin and a little red maple stem to pull it all together. Next, I wanted some height in this corner, so I grabbed some maple stems and some moss to fill this urn that my mom already had. I was really happy with the height, and then this pop of color with those maple stems in that corner and the height was perfect. For the porch entry, I layered this neutral plaid rug with this cute Hello Pumpkin rug on top. When you're decorating a space, I think adding things in to the floor level makes it feel much more intentional. So I added in a couple of pumpkins to either side of that bench. This end of the bench felt a little empty, so I threw in a couple of additional pumpkins here as well. Now, for those that don't know, this is a vintage tobacco basket, and I'm placing this wreath for contrast with the velvet ribbon to vary up the texture. Now on this surface, because it's dark, I wanted to place this white serving tray to give it some contrast. Again, if you place dark items on dark items, then they kind of get lost in each other. Whenever I decorate an area, I like to add different textures, different heights to create visual interest. Sprinkling the same colors in different places throughout the space really makes the room feel cohesive. This is a great little candle that my mom had, and we're just gonna place this on the leaf tray and then put a little filler around it. This antique metal pitcher with these dried hydrangea stems is a really great piece to add here for some height in the back. And then on the other side, I'm just adding in this ceramic tiki torch. One more little touch is just these wooden beads here to finish out this area. One of the changes that we made on the porch was to switch out the cushions on these chairs for a more subtle print. Just adding in some texture with this nice cream colored throw, so the cats have a nice cozy place to cuddle up. And then just a little touch of color with an orange pumpkin. My mom actually grows quite a bit of lavender here, so we had that in abundance and we put it to good use. I threw in this little broom she had. I thought that was so sweet. And then top it off with a pumpkin, of course. To finish off the space, we're going to add in this arrangement she already had in this vintage urn. Place a few of these pumpkins, and then to add a light source to the area, I filled this lantern with, you guessed it, fairy light. Adding in a few burnt orange pillows to make this space a little more cozy. And this pumpkin because, well, why not? These dried lavender stems in the terracotta pot are perfect for the floor here. And then to finish it off, we'll place these woven ottomans. And a fall sign. And here's a look at the before and the after. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a magical week.